Hello, good day to all of you. This is the second video or second installment. That's the plan, anyhow. At the outset, I'd like to say clearly that my main motivation for this, perhaps my only motivation for this particular endeavor or undertaking, is tangible material gain. For those viewing or hearing or experiencing this, if you can eventually click the required buttons. Takes a few seconds, I imagine, thumbs up or sharing or so on and so forth. I would be eternally grateful, and perhaps I can reciprocate in some point or at some point. Getting straight to the point, this particular video is about respect. And now, the pitfalls of language and adjectives and relativity. All this is, of course, a given. However, we verbalize, and non-verbally, we communicate nevertheless. Whether I'm looking at a screen, as is the case, or a group of people, as happens to also be the case, that fortunately or not, doesn't change anything. Respect. Terms like, with all due respect, I respect your position, but I perhaps disagree with it. What does it really mean to me, at least in the English language, the way I understand the English language? I respect your right to speak, the right of speech. I'm not debating this. I'm not criticizing the right to speech at all. I'm here exercising this very right, even if it's not the public domain, although it is. But when I respect someone, I tend to believe that fundamentally, deep down, viscerally, perhaps secretly, when a person's position that's publicized is very much different or even opposed to a position that we hold, we have a gut reaction, a visceral reaction that's not necessarily objective, logical, uh, contextual. It's an animalistic reaction. But most often than not, we will lie to ourselves and perhaps the audience by saying, I respect you. The term respect has positive connotations in the English language, to me, anyhow. And I believe this is somewhat of a lie, as opposed to saying, I disagree with what you have just said. Not only do I disagree with what you have just said, but you are somewhat of a lesser creature to me as a result of publicizing what you just publicized, verbally or otherwise. This is the perhaps the lie that many of us will not come out and say, will perhaps sugarcoat the term, euphemize it, as we tend to euphemize almost day in, day out, everything with everyone. And we'll say, I respect what you have to say. So there's quite a big issue, it would seem, with terms like, again, with all due respect, I disagree. It would be better to perhaps say what's on one's mind. Having said that, of course, whoever first coined the dictum, if you have nothing nice, positive, clean, constructive to say, then just say nothing. Smile or just keep your mouth shut. This might be the most pragmatic field. White lies and not white lies, and the truth is always a bitter pill to swallow. There are quite a few anecdotes and sayings and platitudes surrounding what we say or what we communicate, because it's verbal and non-verbal, it's visual and it's non-visual. Not everyone's eyes and ears and so on work the same way, and not every cultural background, which affects us individually, receives these cues the same way. So, briefly, not to dwell too much upon it, the issue of respect and using terms of respect, I respect what you're saying, I respect what you represent, um, somewhat misleading, and I think uh, it's become impungent upon us to be politically correct and to use certain terms insincerely, without much honesty, for those who, of course, who are very sincere in saying and meaning respect. My hat's off to you. I am, in that sense, a lesser creature, if not a lesser soul, and I believe that's more than enough on the theme of respect, that particular word in the English language. So if you can share this or thumbs up or anything to expand this particular video, thank you once again. Have a good day.